Hi! Once upon a time, I made a poll on Twitter asking you all to choose a topic for the next video, and most of you have chosen Epicurus and Aristotle's views on leisure time and the aim of life. So that is what I'm going to be doing today, as well as drinking my cup of tea. Let me warn you first, I'm no philosophy student, I'm no philosophy expert. It's just that my major forces me sometimes to deal with some philosophical ideas. Therefore, I'll try my best to take account only of the things I studied, I've read, I know about. If I presented incorrect ideas or if I was ignorant of anything, please correct me in the comments below. Let's get into it. To start off, how do we define leisure? There isn't actually one fixed definition for this word, but one of them claim it is the time left over from work, the time we spent not working. Of course, this definition is limited because we are not giving a clear thought on what to count as work and what to count as not. We should differentiate between what we do for the sake of a certain goal and what we do only for the sake of doing. Like if I had a job that requires me to lay and meditate all day, then this is count as work because I'm doing this, I'm meditating, I'm laying all day for the sake of something, for the sake of my salary, for example. On the other hand, if I was reading a book only for the sake of reading, I'm not aiming for anything from reading, then this is considered a leisure activity. We come to the answer that leisure is the time spent doing things for their own sake, and what might be work for me is actually a leisure activity for another person. Then what is the value of leisure, and how much leisure time do we need to have a good life? Let's begin by stating the importance of leisure time in human lives. The French philosopher Paul Lafargue, who was also Karl Marx's son-in-law, in his book The Right to be Lazy, published in 1883, he suggests that when people are at leisure, they are free to flourish, both mentally and physically. He assures that the greatest achievements of humankind were the products of leisure, not work. He mentions the harmful effect of long working hours on both the working people and also the capitalists. He also believes that being addicted to work is dehumanizing and leads a person to live an unhealthy life and stops him from realizing his full potential. Another important idea in his book is how he relates leisure and technology. Back in ancient Greek days, not a lot of people had leisure time because only a minority of people had slaves to do things for them, therefore they had more time to enjoy themselves. So it was only available for a small number of people. Today, on the other hand, is different. I mean, we have technology. More leisure time is available for everyone, almost everyone. Unless you are like a scholar or something. As the title of the book suggests, The Right to be Lazy, Lafargue's main argument is to show that people have a right to be lazy. However, he fails to support his argument with good reasons. I mean, having a right in something goes beyond saying that it is good for you, right? So Lafargue's leisure, obviously, is the freedom from work. And he doesn't go further on explaining how to spend this time, as far as I know. I've started with Lafargue to give like a general view on the topic. Let's now go into a deeper level. Aristotle and Epicurus both connect how people spend their time ethically to what is to be a human, metaphysically. To start with Aristotle, I'll draw on two of his works, the Politics and the Nicomachean Ethics. In both of these works, he tries to discover the ultimate aim of human life and how to achieve it. Well, what is the ultimate aim of human life? He answers it in different ways. He sometimes notes that eudaimonia, or happiness and well-being, is the ultimate aim, but other times he suggests that leisure well spent is the ultimate aim. So leisure time and its importance to human lives is central to his argument. The engagement with a certain activity for its own sake, not just to achieve something or a certain state of mind from it, as I said in the beginning, is Aristotle's conception of a leisure activity. He argues that the aim of life is to know which activities are worth pursuing for their own sake, and activities that are pursued for their own sake are leisure activities. Then the conclusion is to know the aim of life is to know which leisure activities are worth pursuing. While the word implies relaxing and resting, leisure for Aristotle is far away from that. In politics, he claims that after work we need rest. So the point of resting is to recover from work, therefore it is not leisure. It is a means to an end. Is that still comprehensible? Hopefully, because I'm trying so hard not to lose my focus. Okay, his idea is a challenge to the majority of opinions, I'm sure. I mean, we all work hard in order to play or rest, but he suggests that we should consider how excellent people spend their leisure. And that excellent people are those who know what is really valuable in life. So what is to be an excellent human being? He thinks that they are those who excel at certain activities, the best activities which a human could pursue. Another question: what is the nature of those activities? Here Aristotle introduces a new idea, the distinction between the aim and the function. An aim is obviously something we wish to achieve, whereas function is something we are supposed to do, whether we like it or not. Like, my aim is to visit Ireland someday, but my function is to be a student. See the difference? In the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle refers that the main function or purpose of a human being is an activity that involves the exercise of reason, which is distinctive to each person. For him, an excellent person is that who does his function well. His conclusion is that excellent human excels at rational activities. He thinks that the ability to reason is what makes us human, and it makes us realize our potentials. So the best way to spend leisure is by doing activities that involves reasoning, like the study of philosophy and science, but not the academic type, of course. He thinks that we should study them purely for no reason at all. Aristotle makes rules. Not everyone should have plenty of leisure time, because not all people can step up to a life that involves rational activities. Children cannot reason because, well, they haven't learned how to do that yet. Women can make rational choices, but they are poor on acting them. Okay, I'll not comment on that. And the rest of people are natural slaves, who are not capable of making rational choices at all. Which leaves us with a small handful of men who might not even get the right education that will allow them to. Therefore, only few people will make the fullest use of their leisure and live a good life. Well, better luck for all of us in a different life. Of course, his idea of the natural hierarchy is criticized by different philosophers, including Lafargue. So let's bring all that together. Aristotle made a connection between the metaphysical claim of what is to be a human to the ethical claim of the value of leisure activities. So, a human being is a being whose function is to reason, and this exercise of reason is his best leisure activity, which would help him to realize his full potential. But only excellent people could actually do that. Let's move to Epicurus's garden. Epicurus, unlike Aristotle, thinks that anyone could pursue the function of life, regardless of their gender, social class, age. His philosophy suggests that the best life is available for all. He is not picky. From his work, Letters to Menicius, Epicurus thinks that the aim or the objective of human life is not to reason, but pleasure. Pleasure as in the state of tranquility or ataraxia, a body free from pain, a mind free from anxiety, or a soul free from disturbance. He doesn't point that we should pursue all pleasures or to avoid all pain, but to do what brings us most joy, and that we are required to exercise reason and judgment to decide what pleasures to pursue. He agrees with Aristotle that leisure is important to human lives. But whereas Aristotle values leisure as an end itself, like not valuable to achieve something else, in contrast, Epicurus values leisure as a means to an end, to achieve another aim, which is pleasure or ataraxia to him. Epicurus is kind of humble when talking about activities to be done at leisure time. Simple pleasures like a modest meal, a conversation with a friend. He also recommends some intellectual activities, but not for their own sake, as Aristotle mentioned, but to get pleasure and to stop worrying about the future. He makes importance to philosophy because it is enjoyable and because it helps people to find answers and to relieve their anxieties, although I doubt the find answers part. So one striking difference is that Aristotle wants us to realize our full potential and achieve our aims at leisure time. Epicurus wants us not to risk and enjoy the things within our reach. Epicurus denies Aristotle's claim that humans have a function. To him, we are simply atoms randomly put together. We're not that different from animals, to him. The contradiction lies in his belief that we don't have a function, but at the same time we should seek pleasure. Like what the? Well, both Epicurus and Lafargue wants to enjoy leisure time in a negative way by not doing anything to relieve their minds. But Aristotle wants us to pursue activities for their own sake to realize our full potential. But as we said, he has rules, not everyone can do that, while for Epicurus, everyone could have pleasure in his life. Well, this was one of the most challenging things that I've studied, but it's getting dark, oh my god. Well, that's all I have for today. This chapter was very challenging to us because, well, it's a new topic for us and we're not philosophers. We're not that capable of understanding philosophy, but it was very interesting to study and it would make us think about how to spend our time wisely. See you all in my next video. Bye bye!